way it goes. Just the way it goes. Degrees.
Sadistic Penguin Studios presents It's Getting Drafty in Here.
Drafty old barn.
The show of drafting random nonsense.
I choose business ethics.
And now, coming to you from his basement, a.k.a. Draft Headquarters, your host and draft master, Magnificent Stan.
Hello, welcome to episode 17 of It's Getting Drafty in Here. I'm your host, Magnificent Stan. Today is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. And today's topic, we're going to actually dive into a music draft with this one. Each of us is going to draft the components, the bands of our own personal music festival. With me today is, first of all, we have our good buddy, Sadistic Penguin Studios member, as well as All Sports Scene member, Roxy. How are you, pal?
Hello, friend. Good. How are you today?
I am awesome. Roxy is actually the one that came up with the idea for this draft. So thank you very much for that one. I do always enjoy when someone other than me comes up with the idea. So, also today we have 108 legend. Wally Money, how are you, pal?
I'm doing good. How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm good, man. You got something to drink tonight? Yeah.
Just I went simple. Since the weekend I gotta mellow out, so I'm just drinking Screwball. Right? I can't get drunk on this. So.
It's impossible. All right, and finally from the 108, we have our guy MySoxSummer. How are you, buddy?
Good. What's going on? I'm glad Wally found his way back to the Chicagoland area after the damage that he did to himself and his brain all weekend. It was fun to see. It's fun to see.
More my liver than my brain.
Well, yeah, your liver too. Your brain's been gone for a while. I appreciate it. It's true.
So tonight's draft. So tonight's draft, we're going to do 4 rounds. We're actually going to each round is going to be the specific order in the actual music festival. So we're going to go opener, then the second act, the third act, and then the headliner with the last round. So I ran the generator, and MySoxSummer has the first selection for his music festival.
You know, it's funny because I was like, I don't want to be first, because if I'm first, I can't yell at the person for taking a band that is clearly not an opener first. But I'm going to be the guy that everyone's going to yell at for taking not an opening band. But in my festival, this would be my opening band, and that's Daft Punk. So set the scene, right? It's MSS Fest. MSS, me, hates festivals. So I want a band that I only want to hear about 30 minutes of. That was like my original pick, right? Like I was like, let's just ban a band that can only play for 30 minutes. But then I was like, no. That's not how these guys are going to do it. They're going to go big. They're going to pick somebody that is the best opening act, best mid, best everything. So I'm like, I need to pick probably the best opening act to set the stage. Everyone can be coming into their seats, walking into the stage, walking whatever, bobbing along to Daft Punk. So to me, that is probably one of the coolest openers, one of the best live shows. Daft Punk would be great.
All right, right on.
So you want everybody to already start hitting the molly and start rolling and right away.
You got to set the stage, right? Like you got to get going, right? Like you
No
just
pun intended.
yeah, it'll happen. And I don't know Molly. What is that?
Yeah, okay.
No, I know what that is.
I've never heard of that before. No, it's actually a good idea because you get a band that gets your body moving, gets the blood flowing. Yeah, I don't think I could take more than 30 to 40 minutes of them. So
Right?
it's probably it's probably a good idea. All right.
At least
That's
not
a
that
good one.
sober.
Right. Okay. Wally,
Okay.
who's your opener, buddy?
Okay, well, I went on a different way. My festival is an all-day festival where the opening act gets at least an hour, hour and a half. So these are one MySoxSummer will definitely not go to. And then every other band gets at least 2, and then the closer maybe gets 3 hours. But my first one from my festival, I'm going to have Tupac start it off for me.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Yep.
The hologram or
No. We're not doing how like the actual like live or dead. So
Wow.
so if he's alive, Tupac is who.
God, I hope
start
Jordan
my
Miller's not
festival.
going to your festival.
Oh, he's banned. He can sit outside and watch and listen, but he can't.
He's the CM Punk of Riot Fest.
But yeah, no, that's who I want to start the my festival. I have yet to name it yet, but
I know what you should call it.
What's Tupac gonna lead off with?
Oh man, America's Most Wanted.
All right.
Man.
That's another one that'll get people moving a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves it open for California later with Dr. Dre just popping up, you know, like
He'll
hey,
just
here I
show up. Yeah.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg too. You never know.
am. True.
I think Sam Reeves is right. Wally wants the sex to start immediately. Thank you, Sam. And Senior Sox has already declared you the winner.
Oh, I'm gonna win this. Period.
It's all downhill from here on Wally Fest.
Shit.
I'm just gonna tell you, if Tupac is opening, it just gets better.
Okay.
Shit, I'm in this draft and would pick Wally based off that.
So far.
Yeah.
We're opening with Tupac. I love it. It's not an indecisive pick, so obviously Baloney's not in the draft. So all right, Roxy.
All right. I am nothing but predictable, or if not predictable. You're funny. Opener has a lot to prove. Kind of how much can I show you guys about who we are in the shorter amount of setlist time. So the vibes have to be high, and I think a band that can do that is Local H.
Oh, yeah.
They and for what it's worth, I think they could be a higher, band on this lineup, but just based on what I felt comfortable with my other picks, they still they belong in the set, but not at the anywhere else. There's just a ton of energy to them. They give you 110%, whether they're playing for 30 minutes or they're playing for 2 hours. So I think that's a band that's going to come out and show you why they shouldn't be the opener, but not give a shit that they're the opener either, because they're just going to, like I said, give whatever anyway.
No, it's a great pick.
That's a really good pick, yeah. And if you're having it in Chicago, then it's a good local selection to lead off with.
Yeah, and then I get to hear everybody bitch in the group that they're just the opener.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I just like people are gonna bitch that Wally took Tupac. I sounded so white there. I go Tupac.
I was gonna say,
we're gonna throw
Tupac.
Tupac out there. Don't you know?
And real quick though, is it daft or is it daft? Technically,
well, I think it's either.
Is it for poking on pronunciations?
I think it's Daft Punk. Yeah,
I think it's Daft Punk as well. Yes,
Daft.
All right, I'm going with I have kind of a theme to mine. I'm gonna go with the Festival of Strange. So going a little off the path a little bit. My opening act is one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. and I saw it Riot Fest a few years ago. I saw
Oh,
it.
God.
I saw him years ago in even a smaller venue. And I did see a monster with a penis shooting things at
Ooh.
people.
Yeah, that's where I
Yes,
figured you were
yes.
going.
I'm gonna go with
Great
Guar.
pick.
Guar, yeah.
Guar is
Great
my
pick.
Oh my
round
God.
pick.
Never
Um,
seen them.
Oh my God!
really?
You
Yeah,
need to.
yeah, I know. I know.
It's fucking
God.
bizarre, man. I only so I saw him a long time ago. And I didn't really appreciate it when I saw him the first time, and then I saw him at Riot Fest, and I only watched the last like 20 minutes or set, and I was like, just in it, man. You're in it the minute you watch it. And it's so weird, and they're fucking talented as shit too musically. So, like you watch it, and you're like, this is so bizarre, and how do they even perform with that with all the fucking crazy nonsense on? It's an experience.
It's like performance art
It is. It
as
is.
much as it is anything else, and it's
Absolutely.
theatrics, and it's just everything. You know, it's like almost a nod to like Alice Cooper in his live shows, where he would just
Yeah.
be like totally disgusting and do things that are just shocking, just like especially in the 70s. You know, so yeah,
Right.
and they just kept continue that thing on. Yeah, I loved it. Love that pick. I also knew it was there, and I wanted to call it, but then I was like, "Hey, this is not your show. You're supposed to step on."
I feel like again, it's
Beef
just
Loaf and Treasy, not Brian and his show. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't be that guy tonight.
Don't not tonight. Not tonight.
not that guy.
Did you real quick? Did you see Sam's comment? Is Guar a baseball stat?
G War.
I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm not seeing any of the comments. Is that?
Go to there's 2 different tabs on your right there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you were in the private chat.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that a baseball stat?
Which
Yeah,
makes sense
it's
that
the
Wally's looking
trajectory for the
privates.
cum cannon
It
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
in terms of feet.
The
Yeah.
man. Oh, Jesus.
It's like Rammstein had a cum cannon also at their shows during their song "Pussy." They
Oh my God.
They got on a big.
Yeah, you know what? I remember you telling me that they. I think
So,
you like
yeah.
text me while it was happening. You're like, there's a cum
there's
cannon
a cum
here.
cannon, yeah. And then so in
Really?
the
I thought
90s,
that was just all fire cannons with those guys.
no, so in the 90s, the gun used to shoot out like a very similar texture, for what it's worth, and then it looked like an actual dick, but now it's just this like steel dick shaped thing. Big difference, but it just shoots out soap like at the car from the car wash. It's not as fun.
Just soap like the car wash.
So
Awesome.
it's all bubbly and
Yeah. Noted.
exactly like the real
Noted.
thing.
No soap. Roxy's down with soap.
All just so. Okay,
All
so
right,
let's get started round 2. I'm moving from performance art to just very weird sounds. This is someone I've started to listen to more and more and more as I get older and older and older. Started listening to him in my 30s, and I just can't stop buying records of his, of my vinyl collection. He's the most prominent one. I have like 15, 16 records of his now. I'm going with the craziest voice in music. His name is Tom Waits.
Oh wow.
Oh, good call.
So I have been, so he does like 2 concerts a year. They're always like stupid corporate functions where they just give him a dickload of money to perform for like 10 minutes. There's been rumors that he's going to start touring again, like very limited. As long as his voice can hold up. But yeah, I mean, he started off as just kind of like almost like a piano crooner, and then his voice started to go because all the smoking and all the craziness, drinking, smoking, just destroyed his voice, and he just turned into basically a kind of like a monster in terms of his music. He started playing with different sounds, and it's so off the wall, it's so nuts, and I just eat it up every time. So it's like one of my favorite things to do is just sit there and have a cocktail and listen to Tom Waits. So
I'd like to really quick before we continue pull a Sam Reeves and say, Tom, what is he waiting for? Sorry. I know you can edit that. You can edit that part out, but I had to ask.
Brian, that's funny because I was listening to Atmospheres When Life Gives You Lemons.
Yeah.
You turn that shit gold, or you paint that shit gold today. And he's on Waitress, this track. and Slug had him like send him the lyrics and stuff and like rough stuff and said, hey, you know, we would like you to guest on this. And so Tom sent him back a like, you know, an MP3 or whatever of him beatboxing to the thing, and he's like, no, that's not really what I was looking for, but okay. You know, so he ended up playing piano on it. But it's just weird that, like, you know, that was the first thing. He's like, okay, it's rap. He wants me to beatbox, so I'm gonna beatbox and send this back to him.
You know, I want to say Tom Waits' son is a producer, and he's actually worked with Atmosphere, and
there's some connection.
Sluggo, and I think he's done some stuff with Sage Francis and some other stuff. But yeah, so like they really got into hip hop, and he's a very supportive person of all arts in terms of music, and he likes to dive into everything. So,
and they're all from Minnesota too, right? They're all from I mean that scene up there.
I think he's from Pennsylvania actually, but I know he spent a lot of time in the north.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's nuts because they're so like isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they just don't get a lot of bands that come through. So when bands did come through, they got real into it, but then it also develops you to like grow your own scene. It's similar to Seattle, the same deal. Like,
Minnesota, like independent hip hop had like, you know, like all the Anacon guys and all that stuff. I don't know if you follow any of that stuff, like Soul and Alias and all those guys. Are from Minnesota. If you ever want to listen to some pretty cool independent hip hop, Soul, just SOLE. Very, very good. He's gotten really, really political though. Like he's like real, like it's a little too much.
Okay.
but yeah, some of that stuff, and they're all from all of those guys are from like either Pennsylvania or Minnesota. So,
interesting. Yeah, I've been to Rhymesayers. I've been to like Rhyme Fest, or what was it? No.
Yeah, there was a Rhyme Fest.
Yeah, no, Rhyme Fest is Chicago, but they have like a big festival every year. Rhymesayers does.
There's one in Cincinnati actually too.
Yeah.
Scribble Jam, I think it's called.
It's just amazing how much good hip hop there is out there that a lot of people don't even know about.
I've seen some really crazy acts at like the guys that used to book acts at Fireside used to book some crazy hip hop acts, and just like seeing some of my favorites in front of like 15 people in a bowling alley is like the coolest thing ever. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
But all right, Rox. Let's go. Let's go with your second.
It's my turn.
Sorry.
I don't know who the hell Tom Waits is. I'm sorry.
What was this band, Brian? It was like Fire Hose, right? Wasn't Fire Hose one of the bands he was in?
I don't know.
I think so.
All right.
No, that's Firehouse. No, I'm kidding.
Firehouse?
Oh,
Might be
definitely
Firehouse.
he definitely was not Firehouse.
I knew Wally was going to react to that. That's why.
No, he was not
Firehouse.
Firehouse. I only know his solo stuff. I never knew he was in a band, to be honest. But go ahead, Rox.
Cool. I think every bill should have or at least every U.S. bill, obviously, have some non-U.S. artists.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring over one of my favorite British bands, Idols, IDLES. They just have a fantastic vibe to them, similar to Local H. Completely different style of music, for what it's worth, but punk rock just has this really interesting energy that I think can make people want to fight if they're for it, but also realize that they shouldn't, because we all need to work together. So that's my pick.
Right on.
Thank you.
I don't have much insight because I don't really know them that. I mean, I've heard some stuff, but I don't really know them that well.
Yeah, just the perm.
Yeah, just the perm. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just wrote them down. Same, Brian. I never heard of them either, but I'm going to check them out. Roxy's been giving me a whole different type of music to listen to, or different bands that I've never even got into starting this weekend. So it's on my list now to check out. So, all right.
Tony's right. That was actually Mike Watt, and that was not Tom Waits. So I fucked that up.
It's okay.
I drink too much, like Wally on a Friday night in Cincinnati.
I think we all drank too much on Friday night in Cincinnati. So
That's
don't,
true.
Man.
Yeah.
No comment.
I've also fallen in love with that. I fell in love with that Hooties Delight beer that was that Roxy brought for me. I ended up drinking like 6 of those that night.
Good job.
Yeah, I fell in love with my water bottle all over again. So
It wouldn't be yeah, you wouldn't be you if it didn't happen.
I've yet to see a ballpark that has Bacardi in the stands. You know, I mean, going like the Stadium Club, they got it, but you know, I got to find a bar that's actually got it. Yeah, Luke, you're assed out. No.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's taking Mark Anthony.
No. If I saw him in concert, I hear he's good. I want to see him in concert, but I have yet.
Oh boy.
I went to my first Latino concert a couple of weeks ago. That was See Maná. It was a great show. Like I'd go see Mark Anthony. He can sing. You know, I love all forms of music, country to rap. I love it all. So I don't discriminate against it. Music's music. I'm a music junkie. I love it all. I respect it, even if I don't understand what they're saying. If the beat's good, you can jam with it or dance to it. That's all that matters. You know, like seriously, it's the one thing that can unite everybody in this world. You know, it's. I love it. It's my first passion, more than baseball, more than alcohol, more than anything.
I'm still waiting for Wild Stallions to unite the world. It's gonna happen eventually.
They just tried a few years ago, and that was a flop. So
there's another.
Yeah.
There's another pick for the fictional bands draft that we discussed in the pre-show.
Yeah, right.
Wild Stallions is definitely a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But all right, Wally, what do we got here, man?
All right, so my second opener. I was glad nobody took this one yet, especially when MySoxSummer was talking about the Minnesota scene. There's the greatest artist out of Minnesota, who gave the best performance of a Super Bowl ever. I got to go with Prince as my second act.
What the fuck are you picking after him if he's going second?
You'll see. You'll see.
Wally's putting together the day-long Day of the Dead concert.
I told you the first act, opening act, gets about an hour and a half. And the way I pick Prince is right now. So if you've ever seen Prince in concert, he comes out for that encore about 4 or 5 hours later. So after the other bands come on, he would finally come out for the encore and be on time, and that way you weren't sitting there listening to nothing. So that's why I planned it for Prince to be number two.
Number two.
I think
good.
You just won Pete's vote probably.
I get it. I would.
He's still giving us crap about the soundtrack draft where none of us took Purple Rain.
Oh, that's probably the greatest soundtrack of all time. Like I think it's the best. Well, no, I think the best selling soundtrack of all time is Bodyguard. No, Bodyguard, I believe.
Well, in terms of sales
wise, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Purple Rain's got to be like number two.
No,
no, it's not.
Better than both.
We went through the list.
No.
It's not like Forrest Gump was like way
Forrest Gump's
up.
another great sound. That's another great soundtrack.
3 on there. Yeah,
that's my top 5.
I mean, Forrest Gump's great because there's 87 songs on it. It's like there's like 5 number one songs from each year.
Yeah,
is on that soundtrack
for like 3 decades.
Yes.
It's like 9 CDs was the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
Holy shit, that was like the hugest one, man. You guys like, man, we can find that if as long as it's in Forrest Gump, we can find this on the jukebox. We'll be good. We're good.
But all the songs played during the movie though, like it all fit, and it was like all in the same time era. It was a fantastic soundtrack.
It was well put up together.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Right on. Well, Prince.
All right,
Prince is a perfect pick. You can't go wrong with that. But I thought he would go if he was going to go towards the last round. But all right.
Oh, you have a sus.
I am ready. So we're going from Daft Punk into a band that is just really, really good. I was like, who just threw up? That was great.
My dog.
No, it's Roxy's dog or Brian's dog.
I've got an audience tonight. The dog's actually watching me. He never does. So
that's why he's like, what the hell is this guy doing again in the basement talking to the wall? I think there's some problems. He's like, oh man, it's 3 days in a row.
Every time I've recorded, he goes upstairs with Brandy, but Brandy's out of town for work. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you got Daft Punk come down. They're done. Who's coming up next? One of the greatest live performances I had ever seen, and this was in 1996. I loaded them in for Spring Fest at NIU on the West. I think it was like the West Field. I pull out these huge like trunker cases full of, I didn't know what it was, but it was heavy as fuck. And we're on grass, and we have to pull these all up to the stage, which is just out in the middle of nowhere, which is a flatbed truck with an awning. And we're pulling all these things up, open them up. They're all just Christmas lights. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Where are the instruments? We get all the instruments out there, put it up. But when they struck the first chord of the song, and it's dead of night, and black as fuck, all the lights come on, and the flaming lips just like totally like we're right in your face, and there's this lights going everywhere. And this is literally 1996, like when She Don't Use Jelly was like popular, you know, and they were just off of Lollapalooza, but they were not the band that they became, who now is like a totally interactive show with the fans and everything, and it's just a totally different thing. But even then, they just knew like how to put on a show. So I'm going to take the Flaming Lips as my second band.
It's a good one, man.
Festival.
Awesome.
Definitely a band I've wanted to see at some point in my life, but I still haven't. Yeah, 96 is interesting because it was before a lot of that, like Yoshimi and the Pink Robots and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wow.
It was like Clouds Taste Metallic, I think was the record that they were on at that
I think
point.
So. Yeah, yeah.
And we had seen them at Lollapalooza on a side stage. Like, and she Don't Use Jelly was going big because back then, like once you were on Lollapalooza, they would push your video on MTV, so you would see all the videos of these bands. So like, yeah, they were coming up there, but on the second stage, they were just dope, man. We saw them open for Candlebox. I've seen the Flaming Lips far too many times for somebody that like, yeah, I mean, it's just a weird lineup, weird mish, but like the guy Wayne Cohen is just a fucking great songwriter, storyteller, and not a bad guitar player. So it was actually pretty good. And now I got the turnaround. So going in before the headliner, we got to kick up this energy, keep the energy going high.
See, I thought you were supposed to slow it down a little bit before the headliner. No. I
think this is like this. You just start hitting the gas and just keep going.
That's what I'm going to do. But yeah,
Yep.
I love
right?
it.
I think it needs to continue to build up and up and up.
100%.
But you don't want to go too high because you don't want to, shit all over your headliner. But you got to have somebody that's going to bring in like a lot of like just people excited, get people moving again, keep moving, and just get people excited. Going with the man, the myth, the legend, Jay-Z would be my pre-headliner. So we got just building a nice little arc here, and we get right into Jay-Z, just come out and just like hip hop to me. And I think even in festivals, I mean, going back to family values, even Lollapaloozas, you always had a good hip hop artist in there, and it always just
we saw him at concert.
We did with Beyonce. Beyonce. This is good stuff, man. He was good live too.
He was. Yeah, I've seen him a few times. Yeah, he's good.
That's
absolutely
awesome. Very cool.
Interesting. It's an eclectic combination so far. Both of you are very well-rounded.
And he's got good hit songs that people just like. And I think
that's
that's huge too. That would also be a rule. Like you can't play any new music. You have to play like the good stuff that everybody wants to hear. Not like what you're working on.
That's like when I saw Prophets of Rage at Riot Fest, and you're like, you don't want to listen to like their album that they did was fucking trash, and they just got up there and literally they were like doing House of Pain songs, and like you're like Chuck D is singing Jump Around, like get the fuck out of here.
Oh man, that's bad.
It was actually very cool, believe it or not. And they did a bunch of Audio Slave and
okay,
that was really cool.
Well, I mean, you got time in the band, so yeah, I could see that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you got Chuck D and Be Real doing the Chris Cornell part. It was cool. It was actually pretty cool.
That would be cool to see, actually, on that end. Did they do some of Cypress Hill stuff then, and some of Public Enemy solo stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think they did any Public Enemy, but they
no?
did. No. I don't think Chuck wants them to without Flav.
Yeah, didn't he just kick him out the band? But isn't he supposed to be back now too, or something like that? Like they go back and forth, those two.
I canceled my National Enquirer subscription a while ago, so I don't know the comings and goings of Chuck D and Flavor Flav, but
I didn't
you
think
might
they
be
made
right.
the National Enquirer. I mean, you obviously don't subscribe to Rolling Stones, so
Or us. No, I don't actually.
okay, well, okay then.
Once
You
they
would
went
know.
small, man, I was like, I'm not reading that shit anymore. I need the big Rolling Stone.
I gotcha.
All right.
So I got Pot going first. I got Prince coming up second. So you've got all your sexiness, you got all your horniness out of the way. You need another band that comes up now that just mellows you out, can jam for 2.5 hours.
It's Al Green time, huh?
No. You get some great visual. You can get high. You can get drunk. You mellow. And then hear probably, in my opinion, the greatest guitarist of all time. I'm going Pink Floyd.
As I say, the poster behind you.
Yep, you got to. I got a tattoo of their logo on my arms with my kids' initials underneath it. The greatest loves of my life. So, not having them headline
Pink Floyd
it.
and your children?
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, then his children.
Then his children. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam Reeves thought you were taking Bjork. That was on my list for Festival of Weird because she's freaking nuts.
Oh my God, she is crazy.
I've seen her live. Crazy.
Really?
I think I only know like 2 songs of hers, to be honest. Like I think I've listened to one of her
The
albums.
Sugar Cube stuff that the band she was in before she went solo was actually very, very good. But
Perfect.
oh well, Pete thought Floyd was going to be your headliner.
No,
He's a little disappointed.
I'm sure he did. He knew he was going to make the list, but no.
I knew who the headliner is. I already know who the headliner is. I can feel it. But go ahead.
It's Barry White, isn't it?
Of course.
Whose headliner is more obvious, his or mine?
Yours.
Day and
Yours, Roxy.
But just keep in mind, Roxy, I have the headliner pick before you.
He does.
Oh yeah,
I'm prepared. It's okay.
Back up.
All right. So MSS kind of stole the spotlight when I was preparing my spiel for my third pick. But just similar to like kind of how Riot Fest does too. They always have the token rapper for the lineup in like midday, or not like in the midday before you get to the beefy headliners. And so I think this guy over the past couple of years has shown us that even though he was, hanging out with Martha Stewart and everything for a while, he could still kick it. And that's why I'm going with Snoop Dogg.
Good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I think he'll just like vibe the crowd up. And I think he has, similar to Jay-Z, very similar, obviously, but the ability to kind of bring anybody to that stage. Because, with local H and idols, that it's kind of like one or maybe 2 major groups that you wouldn't see overlapping over to rap and whatever. But I think Snoop Dogg could bring them in, and everybody just gets real high, and there's no bad days.
I'm with you on that. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't actually.
No, me either. But yeah, no,
I have.
Have you?
At a festival.
Yeah. Go figure.
We snuck in. What was that fucking bar at Northern?
Otto's.
Yeah, we snuck into Otto's and watched him for like 5 minutes.
Me and Snoop Dogg had played the same stage. I played Otto's too, so
That's
that's
awesome.
kind of nuts. Yeah, it's
That's
just
pretty cool.
it's a crazy. I mean, there's probably even better like bands that have played that on that
Yeah.
stage, especially at
For
that
sure.
time. But like Snoop, I think it was 2004, 2005, like street scene in San Diego, like really good. Just has a live band, has like everybody up, and you're right on, Roxy. Like people like that. It's a good vibe, and it gets people excited again. And rappers just put on good shows usually. They're showmen
100%.
because it's not really you're not up there playing guitar. It's about the feeling and with the vibe. So yeah, for sure. Snoop's a good pick.
That's a good one. And again, it's the same ilk as Jay-Z. It's something that everybody resonates with. So it draws people in.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going another route with that. I'm going to go heavy here. When I want to say 18 or 19, I saw this band. Very, very, very good. Not the sound that typically I follow or am into completely, but they are very good, and I still listen to them to this day. I am going with System of a Down.
Fuck yeah.
Very nice.
I like that pick.
They were insane when I saw them. I could not believe how good they were. And I think they played for like 3 hours. I saw them at Allstate. Well, I'm pretty sure what happened, like one of the openers didn't show up, so they're like, fuck it, let's play 2 sets. That happened a couple of years ago when I went to see They Might Be Giants as well. They played for like 4 hours, which was fucking cool. But
Seems like pure torture to me. They have to listen to They Might Be Giants for 4 hours.
like my favorite band, bro.
Is it really?
No, it's one of them. It's up there.
Oh man,
I've listened to them for a very, very long time.
I'll give you them over the Bare Naked Ladies. Like I'd rather listen to They Might Be Giants than the Bare Naked Ladies, but still. Oh,
See, I'd rather listen to Bare Naked Ladies.
See, Jackie comes in and declares me the winner. So
That's so sweet. Yeah, I saw System of a Down in 2019 at Open Air. And Open Air, the lineup really fucking sucked compared to previous Open Airs.
Mhm.
yeah,
But
I've been to that festival.
it was Ghost and then System of a Down. And so that was
That's
just
not-
like the perfect back
it's
to
not a
back.
bad lineup there.
that's good.
No complaints.
I've been told that they're going to tour again at some point, but I'm going to go. And Roxy, you're going with me.
I saw them after their first record, The System of a Down, at a festival. For going to a guy that doesn't like festivals, I go to a lot of festivals, or did, but it was in Tucson, and we went because Social Distortion was playing. It was also Social Distortion, Saves the Day, some other pop band that I'm blanking on right now, but then System of a Down. It was like the weirdest lineup of bands, but like such a great concert, like all together. Like it was some radio show down there, and it was really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's energy. When I go to a concert, I crave energy, and they are like the height of
All
energy.
Yeah.
And this next band that I'm going to pick actually is the same thing. Very, 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 very good band. Just from the moment I heard them the first time, I've always loved them, and I saw them for the first time actually just a few years ago. Did not get to see the lead singer because he doesn't go on stage. He just stands in the backstage area with a fucking with a fucking curtain over him.
Yeah.
And you don't his explanation is that he doesn't want to be the focus. He wants his bandmates to be the focus. I think it's just he's an absolute fucking weirdo.
I heard it was because he has terrible stage fright.
I
heard that too.
he has like really bad anxiety stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tool.
Okay.
Interesting.
I love
That's
that
my
pick.
headliner.
When you saw Tool, were you sober? Did you take that in like just like, yeah. I had to ask.
And I had never seen them before, and I did like I was just bitching. I went with my buddy who'd seen them like 20 or 30 times, and I'm like, the whole time I'm like, they better fucking play Stinkfist. They better play, and then obviously they always play it last whenever they do a show, and it's like
they don't close with sober.
No, they hate that song. I don't even think they play it live.
Are you kidding
when
me?
I saw them, I didn't know.
So I don't listen to like a ton of Tool, so bear with me with this question. But there's an article that I saw the other day that was kind of just like name like a band and a song where that song doesn't necessarily like explain how the band actually sounds. So like Float Along and Modest Mouse, for example. They're two very different. But
Absolutely.
like would Sober be one of those where it's kind of different than
I don't even think that. I just think that I think that he's such a perfectionist and such a control freak that he wants people to like what he likes, and I feel like he thinks there's other parts of their catalog that that he feels should be more important to people.
Sure.
So, and then I think he just got sick of going on like TV shows and shit and playing it all the time. But yeah,
Tool's awesome.
Yeah,
really good.
I was at a concert in Indiana a few months ago, and I was at a bar afterwards. Shocker. And this person sitting next to me, we were talking music shows and talking a bunch of stuff. And she was telling me how she saw Tool and A Perfect Circle opened up for them. So Maynard did double duty.
Sure.
And I'm like, that would be a show, because I almost probably a bigger fan of Perfect Circle than I am of Tool.
There's a lot of people like that. I never got into it. It's almost like it's a safer version of Tool. Like
it is. I mean,
to me, that's what it is.
It's definitely not as heavy, but I think you hear Maynard's voice better.
Probably.
And he's got different ranges that he uses, on Perfect Circle than he does. He does some like ballads, to some other, like you can hear how great his voice is compared to what Tool, where the music just kind of overwhelms his voice. At least in my opinion.
I can see that. I could see that argument for sure.
Good call.
Right on. Well, Roxy, who are you?
All right.
He's shutting down this festival.
I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping she doesn't take it just to swerve us all.
So I think it's appropriate to go with Devo. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a terrible pick.
I saw them for the first time at Riot Fest in 2021, and it was legitimately the best, one of the best shows at Riot Fest I've ever seen. Really nice. But yes, we're gonna go with Ghost. Obviously, they get a lot of my money, so I'm contractually obligated to pick them. But no, I've seen them 12 times. Seeing them 7 more times later this year.
I'm seeing them too.
And yeah, 3 out of the 4 people in this chat or in this group are seeing them. So
yes,
MSS,
I'm actually going thanks to Roxy.
If you need a ticket, let me know. But no, they provide either very visually appealing band. There's fire in their show. They talk about tickling taints and fucking everybody and all
I
this stuff.
have not got to those albums yet.
You will. You will.
Get there.
Yeah,
I might have some newfound respect for them.
That's right. But there's 8. I think there's 8. Brian will have to tell me he's the biggest fan, but there's like 8 of them dressed head to toe. You don't know what they look like. You don't know who they are, and then they just, in my opinion, they just blow you away because you don't know what to expect because of the way they look, and then they start singing, and it's not what you expected.
And I think we discussed Ghost briefly in the pre-show and the backstage, whatever we want to call it, and
the pregame.
Wally has started to listen to them, and he likes how the sound just continues to shift, and it's so different each time that he was under the impression that it was a different singer, and it's not. So that's some fucking talent there. Well,
because I thought I did, because I'm the third album, comic book punk gave me some references of how to listen to him, and as I'm following his order, and I'm the third album now, and I saw in our group chat for this podcast, Roxy said I'm going to take Ghost 4 times because they have 4 different singers. So I thought there was legitimately 4 different singers because they all, at least the first 3 albums,
right?
They sound different. And then, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not trying to be ignorant here because I don't know them well enough, but I don't even know how to say his name. But isn't it like 1, 2, 3, and 4? Don't they change like names, like the lead singer, like
Papa Emeritus, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4?
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm in my mind, there actually is 4 different singers.
Sure.
If not, it's a hell of a range this guy's got.
Yeah, it's the same guy. I promise.
His
name's Tobias Forge. It's just this tiny little man from Sweden.
Well, we saw him throughout the first pitch. I think
that's right.
I did see him live.
Technically
throwing out a first pitch, but I have not seen the band. So yes, but I will. I will see them in September, thanks to Roxy. So yes, I'm looking forward to it.
I did not know they sounded like they sounded when I started listening to it. Like the first time I listened to them, I was expecting something very heavy.
That's me too. That was
exactly Slipknot style stuff.
It's very poppy.
It's almost pop. Yeah. It was like the biggest. I'm like, well, no, this isn't. This is not who this is supposed to be. I'm obviously listening to the wrong guy, but it was not. It was. So
you fool.
And the guy that turned me on to him though is like a huge death metal guy. So that was why, or was like, hey, you should listen to these guys. Or is real big into him. So I was like, well, they got to be heavy because he listens to him. But
who you mentioned to me before and told me to check out one of her albums was Treasy. told me a couple years ago they came with new albums. Like, you got to hear it. It sounds like something straight out of the '80s, like old
Yeah.
'80s.
It totally
metal.
does. It
You know,
totally
I
does.
have yet to get to that album yet, but I remember him telling me that, and I never went and listened to it. But I was like, I soon we'll get to it. As a matter of fact, I was going through it, and Spotify, it popped up today. They got a song. I don't know if it's a cover. What's up with Joe Elliott from Def Leppard?
Yeah, that's a song off of their newest album. You're
Okay.
referring to Spillways, and that's just one of their songs, and then he opted
Sings
to.
I didn't sing.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
correct.
okay. So
Yep.
it was a song beforehand, and they just joined with him. They didn't write it together then.
No,
Okay.
that's all. That's Ghost song.
Okay.
They definitely knocked it out of the park with the Genesis cover that they just did.
I did. So this is what got me. It came on FM radio. Bless you.
Thank you.
And sure as shit, I saw it. I took a screenshot of it, sent it to Roxy. I'm like, this fucking song, Fox. Like, I'm like they did a great job on that.
Did you watch the video for it?
I have not seen the video.
Watch the video, dude.
Okay, all right, I'll
Seriously.
check it out. then.
Jackie, it's Jesus. He knows me.
Or Jesus he knows me. I say Jesus he loves me. Yeah, Jesus.
Oh
he
no,
knows me.
yeah,
said it wrong.
they
Yeah.
came out
It's so good.
with it on Easter.
That's the best part.
Do not watch the music video with loved ones. Just
Yeah.
watch it by yourself.
And no, and do not watch the music
the
video.
kids. Don't watch the
There's
kids.
children in the
No
room.
kids.
Do not. No.
Not your very
anybody-
conservative parents. Like just
Anybody
watch
that
it by
has any
yourself.
religious background. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they know the song. Like Jackie most likely knows the song, so it's like, but still, everybody should see Ghost once. It is truly, in my opinion, a very biased opinion nonetheless. But everybody should see Ghost once just to see. Like, there's a meme that I think perfectly. I used to get upset about it because I was a dumb 20-something. It's two houses, and one's like super pink, and one is like all black, and it says what Ghost looks like, and that's the black house, and then the pink like Barbie house is what they sound like.
They sound like
It's
it.
absolutely
Makes sense.
true. Absolutely true.
Well,
Yeah.
in my opinion, Rex, I think everybody should see almost every band once. Like music, everybody should appreciate it all. And you know what? I'm one of those, especially when it comes to music. I'll go see the same band at least twice, because some bands have off nights. Like if you go to enough shows, you know when they're not on. Sounds fucked up. You know, like the crowd's horrible. There's bad energy. There's bad vibe. Somebody's sick. You know, I mean, like you never know. So it's like I'll go to at least see every band at least twice, and then after then, I'll rule them out and be like, okay, I see them enough. And
So, has there been a band that you've seen twice and you ruled out?
oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Like, what? Just can you name one? Like, right now?
Oh God,
I
Aerosmith.
was like, of course, but I just can't think of it.
Aerosmith.
It's fair.
Aerosmith is horrible.
We
Man.
we looked up Aerosmith
Yeah,
tickets
we
on
were thinking about going.
on the way to Cincy, right? Just
Uh-huh.
because they were my first concert, I would see them again just to say that I did.
Yeah.
So they're playing at the United Center. They're not playing in the middle of this stage. They're playing, at one end, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got the seats behind it still available. They're like $150 fucking dollars
Before fees.
What you know what?
Yeah.
to sit behind the stage.
I'm telling you a secret on that. Go to the box office and buy them and save your money and all the fees. I'm there half the time, so if you guys want to let me know, I'll buy them. You know,
I was just expecting to pay like $60.
no, but you know what? To be honest, I saw the first and only time. I'm going again in August with Aloha Mr. Hand. But the first time I saw, and the only time I saw Bruce Springsteen was behind the stage. And to be honest, he played for half the show. It was at United Center. He was facing us, and then you saw the band and stuff, and somebody and you see the backside, you see his drummer, and it was actually not a bad. If they actually have it open and not have like a wall, around it, it's actually not. And actually, I think once I saw Bon Jovi like that too. You can see everything. It's not that bad sitting behind the stage. And
it's still 150, and then after fees, it's like $200.
No,
so
I get that. Just and I
you
remember,
make a good point. Like it shouldn't
be a bunch of 80-year-old dudes play like.
Plus Aerosmith sucks. So
Well,
to pay
there's that.
$160 to see Aerosmith. is a
I
little,
was reaching out to Aloha Mr. Hanks. He's my concert buddy for a lot of shows, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go see Aerosmith?" He's like, "I saw him once. Black Crowes open up for them, and
that's why I wanted to go because I like the Black Crowes."
But he tells me they were so bad. Black Crowes made them fucking look good because they were worse. And I'm like, well, he's like, who's opening for him? I'm like, Black Crowes. He's like, yeah, it's a hard no. And I'm like, you don't want to go see something. I saw that shit years ago when in their heyday, like it was garbage. Aerosmith just, I mean, the band sounds good. Steven's just so I don't know what the fuck he's on, but he's just
Cocaine.
whacked out of his.
I got an aunt. She looks exactly like him, so I can't say much, but I completely agree with you.
So dude looks like a lady, huh?
100%. I'll show you the next time I see you. I'll show you their pictures like side by side.
I got you.
All right, what's your pick, man?
All right, my pick. All right, so we got Pac, we got Prince, we got all the sexiness out the way. We're getting high. We're mellowing out the Pink Floyd. You need somebody that can go for 2.5 hours.
You've said that about every pick.
It's a music festival. They're going for 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
man.
no, my music festival, they got it. I'm a contract them. They got to play. They got to play full
4 groups all day.
Yeah,
It's a 9 hour show.
8 hours.
Yeah, that's what I said.
8
My
hours a
festival's
set.
an all-day festival, So you go through all your highs and lows. So you need somebody that can jam out, make you dance, make you sing, make you feel young again. And then no, close, but no.
The Jackson 5.
No.
Michael Jackson.
Oh my God. You really
Yeah,
did
that-
pick
that-
everyone that's dead.
Tupac's not dead, Jacob. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
Tupac.
I mean,
Pink Floyd does have one dead member, so yes, I do.
right, but that's only one dead. But
And
Michael
of all, and the thing
fucking
is,
Jackson?
yes, and then of all these bands, I've seen all of them but one, which is Tupac. So I've seen these all guys in concerts. I know how they can play.
You've seen Michael?
Yeah, I saw Michael and his brothers. I saw the Victory Tour in
cool.
1984 at Old Comiskey. My first concert I went to.
That's wild.
Wait, that was the first show you ever?
That was the first show I ever went to, and that's still.
How do you even follow that up?
You can't. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Pink Floyd is like a tie with them. So 10 years later, 94, I saw Floyd. Like those are the 2 best shows I ever saw. Anybody knows me. I mean, you can't beat those 2. Period. And I've seen some great concerts. I've seen some great bands.
That was Pulse, right? Or Division Bell. Division Bell.
The
tour.
Division Bell. Pulse was the live
But the
album.
Pulse
of
was the
Division Bell.
album of
Yes,
the Division Bell.
Yeah, I saw Division
And that's
Bell.
a great record.
Yeah.
They were hitting it. They were doing really good.
Yeah.
Wally's Festival from Hell.
I mean,
well,
Christ.
I think Brian, you said you were trying to go with strange and weird, but I think Brian,
He's got a bunch of fucking zombies playing.
reanimated zombies. Yes.
you've got probably between all 3 bands, like if I had to guess, you've got probably 1.5 billion records sold between all 4.
has to be.
Because Michael, I know, sold close to 1 billion. Floyd's got to be at least 300, 400,000. Prince is over 100.
Hey, some of
Pink
us
Floyd's
pay to
probably
go to
sold
Dead and
more.
Company CPG.
Oh man.
That's me.
I saw
Okay,
the Dead Night too.
Yumper referenced Bubbles, so Yumper wins. Yumper wins the comments today.
Yeah, I bought tickets to Dead and Company today for
Did you?
Jeff and I. Yeah, resale. Not super proud, but we'll be there.
It is what it is. I saw the Dead back in '94. So, and I've seen John Mayer. He's phenomenal. So on guitar, he kills it.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, this isn't my first time seeing them. And
oh no,
my dad and I went like 2 or 3 times. My dad just likes to get the contact high and people watch. He likes the
one of
music.
the best shows to do it.
Yeah, that's like he goes to fish or went to fish for the same reason. He would just walk around, get it.
Did he go to Buffett?
No, not his.
Oh, that's another one that's like right up there with it. Like,
No, I agree with you for some reason.
Dead, yeah, and I'm not a fan of the music, but it was like I got to go to it, And
Sure.
yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, MSS last pick.
I mean, there's like one band that can follow up Jay-Z. I mean, there's a few bands, but one band that fits the whole vibe of the entire day. And it's simple. Rage Against the Machine. You have
Very
them
nice.
close everything out. And that's
Very
just
good.
that's a great one. So yeah. Rage Against the Machine is a great band live and just a lot of energy and the kids love them. Even when they came back around here this last time, watching kids that are 20 years younger than me going, oh my God, Rage Against the Machine. I want to go see him so bad. It's like $300 to see him. And I was like, fuck, I saw them for $19.99 at the Aragon.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I was explaining to Teresi too at, Lollapalooza 93 was my first concert. Tool was on the second stage. I didn't think I saw him. think I did. But I saw a lot of bands there, and then that was the first time I'd actually heard their music. And Rage Against the Machine was the opener. The first time I'd ever heard Rage was live. First time I ever heard Primus was live. First time I ever heard Fishbone was live. You know, it was just like a lot of crazy.
Oh wow! First time you ever heard
bands.
Primus was live.
Yes,
That's gotta be like a really weird
fucking
experience,
trip.
man.
It was a big trip. Like
Primus was on my list. I almost took them instead of System of a Down. So
I mean, Primus is fucking awesome live and so
Incredible.
heavy. It could can bounce in on like almost any festival. So it doesn't even matter. You know, like it'd be good. You know, Svo just mentioned a band in the comments with the Beastie Boys, and I saw the again a festival, the Tibetan Freedom Festival. In 19,
wow. Yeah.
I think it was 90. It was 98.
Yeah,
It was
something like
98,
that. 99, yeah,
in
somewhere around there.
Alpine.
Yeah.
And you had, I think it was Blondie opened, and then you had Rage, then you had Rage, Run DMC, into the Beastie Boys, and I've always said that Run DMC blew both Rage and the Beastie Boys off the stage with just their power and just like how they put on a show.
Yeah.
That's
Just
solid.
insane how they came out.
Jam
and
Master
just
Jay was still with them.
Yeah, they were. It was who?
Jam Master
Jay?
Jay was still. Yeah, he's still with them. Yeah. Okay.
And the Beasties had Mixmaster Mike, so that they had moved on from DJ Hurricane, but like they were awesome too. I mean,
Mixmaster Mike was good too.
you're talking like 3 elite bands.
Yeah.
back to back to back.
The Beastie headline that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That was their.
And they were
that
so
was
good.
their show. Like they organized the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I guess it's a Tibetan festival. They were
Yeah.
all big on that. Yeah, that should have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Cult was on the bill too.
Ooh, that'd have been a good.
But we
band,
had gotten
too.
lost, so we had to buy a map at a gas station to find out where we were supposed to go.
Before GPS.
Well, because literally, I got in a car with a guy, and he's like, "Oh, we'll just follow somebody. We'll find it." And then we didn't, and we had to go buy a map to go to Alpine Valley. But yeah, so that to me would get me back out there. So this is a festival that I would go.
Sounds like
and
you've
waste
been to
my
more
time at.
festivals than me, so you are not a festival
I've gone to
hater.
a lot of festivals.
I feel like in order to hate festivals, you have to have been to them to truly understand
Right.
the
Yeah.
pure misery involved. You're not there because you want to be. You're-
Absolutely.
Well, like I think the first festival I've been to was like I think it was Ozfest, like one of the first ones, like or actually the ones where I think Ozzy did double duty. He played and then he had Sabbath headline too, like Pantera was on it. Like it was a great show, but it was all on one stage.
Yeah.
When they start doing multi stages and you had like great bands at the same time, that's where I kind of got turned off by it. It was just like you can't see all these great. It's humanly impossible to see all great bands. When you got your one seats at the main stage and you're trying to rush this other shit, by the time you get over there, you missed it. You walk back, the crowd makes it. You missed the
that's
other
goofy.
show afterwards. Like that shit, I agree with. I hate. But if you can do like a festival like all day on one stage, I'm down. Like I'll listen to 12 hours. Like who you call it does the one that's on my bucket list is Eric Clapton. Does that Crossroads like that whole like it's only one stage and you've got like I think it's like probably 8-9 hours, but you know every band or all the artists play on one stage. You know, and I'm fine with that.
If you're going to see Eric Clapton, you better not be vaccinated. I'll tell you that.
I saw him last year. Actually, MySoxSummer's at the same show too. Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
I didn't pay to see him though. I was given free tickets, and my dad likes him. We were gonna go, but
I paid for it. Yeah, I don't have the free ticket hookup. So,
quick question for you guys.
Too bad.
yeah.
At a music festival, did you guys ever see someone that you weren't expecting to be good and that was really, really good?
oh, for sure. Probably been a lot of
Just an
bands.
example from each. I'll give you mine real quick. When I went
Mm-hmm.
to Riot Fest, I saw Andrew WK, and I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of his music, but the energy that fucking band. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Like
really good.
it like knocks you over. It's so strong.
Sure.
Yeah, that was. Go ahead, Rox. I don't interrupt.
No, please.
Like I think who I knew of as a wrestler, Jericho, who I thought.
Fozzy?
Oh my
So
God.
Fozzy, yeah. Like I was like, hey, shit. And then, but at that stage, who was after them was in this moment, and the energy was just was so different. But to be honest, they sounded horrible. but the energy and the theatrics were kind of nice. Like it, but yeah, Fozzy was one of those ones that I was like, you know what, eh. But even go back when the first festival, so who I did get into, I never thought I'd like was Silverchair. Like we're going back. This is before your time, Roxy. Like
your whole guys' whole conversation.
Well, I mean,
it's okay.
Like for me, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s is the best 3 decades of music. Period. You won't convince me otherwise.
Yep.
Not saying there hasn't been some decent music since there, but the solid group, the best shit came out of those years.
Yeah, I grew up with that stuff. Like my mom is I think I've talked about it before. My mom's a Van Hagar girl, so we listen to. Yeah, you're a Van Hagar girl too. You're very cute.
I used to have long hair. So I saw them in '92 in Alice in Chains, the original Alice in Chains. I ended up opening up for them. Kind of cool. Like every time I saw them, the opening act was kind of better than Van Halen. I've seen them a few times, and no, definitely I prefer OU812 and 5150 are still my 2 best. Well, besides the first albums, by far.
The first album
album's number 1, but the rest of their albums with David Lee Roth. I mean, '84, everybody wants to talk shit. They had a few hits on it, but as a whole, that album is shit. If you take away the 4 or 5 hits on there, the rest of it's garbage.
You take away the 4 or 5 hits, the rest.
Hot for Teacher, Jump, Panama. I think they just said Panama.
Those are 3 fucking classics on the same album. Come on, Wally.
David Lee Roth. If you ever see David Lee Roth in concert, and I saw him with Van Halen and his solo shit, he's fucking horrible.
That's who I saw also, and I was not.
Yeah, no, he sucks. Like,
I was not very impressed.
The last time I saw them with them, I mean, Kool and the Gang opened up for him. I mean, it's Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang blew them off the fucking stage. Like, people were all like, "Who the fuck's Kool and the Gang?" Afterwards, they're like, "Fuck, they were better than Van Halen." Everybody in the whole crowd was like, "Shit, put Kool and the Gang back on to finish the shit."
I'm trying to see who.
I'm not joking. I think Aloha Mr. Hand was at that show too. He can back me up.
I was at this, Jackie. I was at that Warped Tour with Blink. I was at that one.
Warped Tour is where I first saw.
I went to like 4 or 5 of those.
Andrew WK.
Yep.
I thought they were on the Vans World. Is that the Vans Warped Tour?
Warped Tour,
okay, I was at one of those at Tinley Park. I took my kids to see that one.
Awesome. Yeah, those were good shows.
You went
they were good
too, right?
Huh?
Did you drop in on the vertical ramp or no?
No, there was no half pipe there. At least not that I saw.
Oh, that's lame.
Gotta have a vert.
I think the band that I'd seen, Brian, at a festival that I was not expecting to be as good as they were, and this is going to get me a lot of flack because he has not aged well, especially with the
Oh, please be R. Kelly. Please be R.
non-conservative.
Dude.
Fucking saw Kid Rock play.
Kid Rock
puts on a fucking pretty incredible show.
Yeah,
like
the energy was good. Yeah,
he's really good. Also, it's same festival, Inland Empire Festival in California. We went because Zwan was playing, and I was a big.
Did you spend time on the West Coast?
I did. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to live out there.
Okay.
So it was at Home Depot Center, where the Galaxy play, and it was
in LA.
Zwan, yeah. Well, it's on the way to LA. Zwan played, but also Velvet Revolver, the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. Foo Fighters are great live, man.
They are great.
That was the other band I was gonna say. Like Foo Fighters, like really blew me away too.
Just
a lot better live than any of their records. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a noted FooIghters hater.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said real quick. You said Velvet. You liked Velvet Revolver.
I did like Velvet Revolver, and that was because have you? Like they had.
I'm just mostly surprised because of the STP hate. I get that they're completely different bands. I get that they're different bands, but I thought that Scott Weiland was like the fact that the
Velvet Revolver had much harder tones.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I had their the one fucking album.
I never that was what, just Guns N' Roses and then Scott Weiland.
It was Duff McKagan and Slash and
I just wasn't sure if
was
the
Edward on
STP
drums?
hate primarily stemmed
I don't
from
remember
Scott
who was on the
Weiland
drums.
because I was good.
The drummer was Matt. It was the Matt guy, right?
No, Steve Adler was their first drummer. I thought it was Adler. No,
it wasn't Adler.
No, Adler.
It was the. I thought
Adler
it was
couldn't
the
even
Matt
walk
guy,
down the
maybe it
street
wasn't.
at that point.
Yeah, I fucking hate Stone Temple Pilots, especially the later stuff. The first record was okay, but
dude,
the
I saw
later
him in
stuff is just
'94.
We're talking about the Core album, right? Yes.
Yeah, Core's fine.
Yes.
I saw
After
him in
that,
19...
I wasn't. Just didn't like it.
Never a fan myself either. So
That's fine.
Everyone's like,
we're all
"Oh,
in
it's
agreement."
so smart and so heady." It's like, fuck that shit.
I saw him in '94 at Summerfest in Wisconsin, and they killed it. They Still in my top 20 best shows I ever saw.
He had a commanding presence for sure, Scott Weiland. Yeah,
they had these huge, like, on the back, on each side. They had a couch on the front of the stage and a huge, like, lava lamps on the side.
Yep.
And I mean, this is prime Scott Weiland heroin days. Like, I mean, but he came out there and he fucking sounded amazing. They fucking jammed. They played 2.5 hours. They were fucking good.
Do you know where Scott Weiland? It was either his last show or his second to last show was.
Oh, I have no fucking clue. I only saw him once. It was 94.
You went to, is like Peoria or something?
Arcata Theater. St.
Really?
Charles,
In St. Charles? Your hometown, huh?
It was like the second to last show.
Well, Velvet Revolver,
so
though, right?
sad.
Was it
No,
Velvet
he was
Revolver?
it was solo. He was by
He was
himself.
doing solo stuff.
I know he was there with Velvet Revolver. I didn't know he had some solo stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that I remember after he passed, his widow was on Howard Stern, and she was like yelling.
Yeah,
about
I'm just looking at Jackie's comment right there because I actually prefer Audio Slave better than Soundgarden.
God,
you're a monster.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of my show right now.
I do. I prefer.
Drafts all dead
Soundgarden
guys.
is my favorite band of all time.
Likes
First
Audio
band I saw
Slave.
live.
Soundgarden is?
Yeah, first band I saw live. I was
That's same
14 or
as
15 years old. Teresi and I have had conversations about how like him and I went to the same first concert, which was like a Soundgarden show at Aragon.
Aragon, right?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody
That's
name
crazy.
your best show you saw at Aragon. Was that
So
it?
real
That was
quick.
it for me. Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. I didn't get to go for my band that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Russ. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
Russ. Yep.
Oh no,
No,
it's
go
okay.
for it.
A lot of people like this band, so it's not really going to be too controversial. But I was really blown away by Zac Brown Band when I saw them. That's not really like a genre that I would normally reach for alone. But when I worked at Wrigley, don't let this get out. I got to work a couple of their shows, so you're there, so you might as well enjoy it. And they put on just like a fantastic show.
I go see him.
Yeah.
It's genuinely entertaining.
Country's not bad live. Some of it. I saw the Dixie Chicks live, and it was kind of the same deal.
I did. They were good.
They were really good live,
Yeah.
but it was more, again, it was more rock. It got into rock versus
Right.
what you would think it would be.
Yeah.
And Zac Brown Band is like a step away from some fucking jam band, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
they're
know,
definitely not your like garden variety part of that genre. They kind of dip into a few other areas for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wally, you said favorite show.
Aragon show. I think we've
Yeah.
all been to Aragon. So
Go ahead.
No, I'm asking you guys.
Mine's definitely Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Yeah. Chris Cornell spit on me, dude. It was awesome.
Oh, that's dope.
That's
I was like 15. I like had a horrible contact high because everybody's smoking weed in the pit, and I'm 15 years old. And
so
my brother.
that's why you didn't care that he spit on you, or
Pretty
were you
much.
just also?
He
high?
took like a big thing of water and just spit it into the crowd.
So
and I was
that's
like, I had
why
like
you like
worked my
Audio
way up
Slave.
front.
Audio Slave never spit on you, but Soundgarden did.
Right.
I gotcha. That makes sense. It makes sense.
MSS. Do you have one?
Oh my God. I think I just talked about it too. I don't know if it was at the Bums podcast. I think it was. I said a lot of words on that podcast.
You did great.
Bumcast last week. I went and saw Jane's Addiction on the Relapse tour in 1997. They were one of my favorite concerts or favorite bands ever. And Goldie opened, and then the Smashing Pumpkins were the mid, and then it was Jane's Addiction. So to see Smoking or the Smashing Pumpkins, and this was Melancholy Days, or after Melancholy Days, so it was 97. Billy was in full drag, and they came out and played like 8 songs, and then Jane's came out and played, and Flea was playing with Jane's at that point. So it was a trip. That was probably the best show. But my first show there was Lenny Kravitz, and because I love Lenny Kravitz,
Hell
in
yeah.
like 93, like he was just, you couldn't get much better. You know?
I wish I'd have saw him.
was so
Important
good,
clarification, CPG, that you did on accident. Mine was 9 Inch Nails. I saw them there a couple of years ago. It's not. I've seen Ghost there.
Yeah.
I've seen Ghost at Aragon, and I still think 9 Inch Nails was the best show.
Ghost
that I've
would
seen
be
at
cool
Aragon.
at Aragon just because of the. I mean, I haven't been to Aragon in like 20 years, but
It's a pain in the dick.
decoration
It
inside.
is. It's got to be. Now that I'm older, Roxy, I'm with you. It's got to be one hell of a band to get me go to the bra room.
Yeah, I mean, there's I at that point though, I would have seen Ghost at like in a wet puddle outside. They used to do 2 hours, 2 separate acts, no opener, and so it was entirely worth the cash. But yeah, Aragon's probably my least. No, that's probably Concord. Concord is awful here in Logan Square. It's on Milwaukee.
I feel like I've
Yeah.
been there once, and I can't remember.
It's
who I
rough
saw
there. It was definitely, if I remember right, it was something else before it became a music venue, and it's just not meant to be a music venue. There's like poles in the middle of the room. It's like the beams at Wrigley.
so it's like sitting in the 108.
With less cool people,
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
depending.
All right. Were there any bands that you guys were considering that you didn't pick, or?
Oh, yeah.
I have like a list of like 40 bands. So
Oh my
Same,
God.
same. I had a
I want
shit
a
ton of
Well,
lists too. Yeah.
I honestly didn't know which route I was going to take until I started to pick. I had a couple other ideas. I was going to do like an entire grunge show. So I was going to do like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, and then headline with Nirvana, like something like that. But
Oh,
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that was too like, I don't know.
See, that's interesting, Brian, because that's the same thing I did. I have 4 different lineups for one, and this one was the I can only take about a half hour to 45 minutes of each one of these bands, set up.
Yeah.
And so my opener was Limp Bizkit, my second was Slipknot, my third was Pantera, and closing was Metallica. But I could probably listen to Metallica for about an hour and a half, maybe, before I would have to like be like,
anyway.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, man. So like that was
seen
like
them, right?
I've never seen Metallica.
Oh, they're
No.
garbage.
You're fine.
They're
It's
garbage.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're not missing much.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah. I've seen them 3 times, and actually I paid to see them when they come back in 2024. I bought the tickets last year, going both nights, and it's like
On purpose?
well, it's like I love the fact that it was 2 different shows both nights. So it was like 2 different set lists, 2 different opening acts.
Yeah, Pantera and who else?
Pantera and Wolfgang's band.
Okay.
Wolfgang's Van Halen.
That dude's got some chop. That dude's really
I
good.
missed him when he was supposed to. When I saw Guns N' Roses last summer, traffic was so bad I missed him opening them up. But then the second night is like I think it's Volt Beat
No.
and Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, yeah. All the Kyles.
Yeah. I've never seen Five Fingers, so I'm like, I'm down for that. I saw Pantera
Oh, my
years
God,
ago.
Wally.
So I'm like, you know what? I don't mind them. Like, I love everything. Like, I know you guys like to shit on a lot. You respect some of my music loves, but some of them you guys shit on. Like you and Therese, you were shitting all over when I was talking about how good Godsmack is live and the energy you have. And you're both live.
Oh, God.
I think Roxy's exact words like, I'd rather shoot myself. And I'm like, they're fucking awesome live, man. The energy, I'm like, the drum solo is like, well, and then Chris is like, well, they have to play drums because the rest of them suck. But I'm just like,
Yes,
You know how
Caitlin, I've seen him like 2 or 3 times.
It's the other band is Ice Nine Kills. It's not Volbeat.
oh, it's not Volbeat. Okay, well,
Volbeat sucks. I've seen them.
Well, I never heard of this other band. It's Ice Nine or whoever the hell that shit is.
You know who I've seen Volbeat with?
Hmm.
Ghost. Okay, I'm sorry. We're not going to keep doing that.
So
You
so
did.
they-
I remember you telling
so
me.
they got
that.
to rock.
Yeah.
'Cause Ghost wouldn't have a shitty band open for them, would they?
It was like a co-headlining tour.
Oh, okay.
So they both played 90 minute, hour 45.
Gotcha.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking
Wow.
Ghost went on last. I had to wait. Sit through all that fucking bullshit.
Now I've noticed a lot of people mention Queen a lot. That none of us
Yeah.
took Queen. They
Yeah,
were on my list,
that's
but
fine.
again,
Yeah, they were
I
on my
took,
list,
I
too.
took a different route. I went with a theme, so I didn't, But I was gonna do like Queen and like Jimi Hendrix and like just
There you go. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
go real
Sure.
classic. But yeah. Anybody else with
Yeah. All right. Is that all you got? MySoxSummer? Is that
No,
what
I
it
had
Go ahead.
my other fests, like I had Korn opening with Pantera, then Eminem, and then Rage. And then I also had Killers,
was? Yeah.
Green
Like-
Day,
The Killers?
Guns N' Roses,
Mm-hmm.
and then Metallica. But I should probably
Oh my
flop after
God,
everyone
just kill
shit
me with
so
that
much
one,
on
man.
them.
That one's
Let's
rough.
flip GNR and Metallica. But because back in the day, those guys both went on it. The Metallica
together,
and
yeah,
GNR toured together. Like,
Yeah, and then
when
there
it
was a
Use Your
and then there was a
Illusion.
riot because
Oh
somebody
my god!
No,
That was-
because James got burnt up
burned.
in Canada.
And Guns N' Roses refused to stay on stage and do a double
or
set.
stage longer. They're like, no, we're not doing it. You know, fuck 'em.
Yeah,
They walked
they
off and they
fucking
started a
burned
riot.
They
Yeah,
burned the
Yeah.
damn building down pretty much.
You know what? I wouldn't even blame Guns N' Roses. I would just blame Axl Rose. It was probably all Axl Rose.
Always
Like,
Axl's
Oh, he
fault.
was back then.
I mean-
he was. He'd be the first one to admit it.
he was a big pain in the ass.
He
and
was.
like, as if you've seen Axl Rose recently, that's fucking karma. That's what happens. You become a big bloated,
He
weird
still
looking
sound- he-
dude.
You know what? He still sounds good. He does.
I mean, that's 50-50, but I agree with you. He's at least still moving. Slash kills. He still slays. That guy's
the
awesome.
whole. You know what? I saw them on that Chinese Democracy tour.
Oh, God.
Where it was a great fucking tour. Buckethead was guitarist. Like I shit you not. Like
I had you know what I had tickets on that tour and I never I had to work
Oh.
and I got stuck. I didn't
Wait.
get to go.
It was the first concert. I have to find. I have my ticket stub for it. I think the time said 9-ish. Like it didn't even have a fucking time on it. He didn't show up to fuck. They didn't start till 11 o'clock.
Oh God.
Didn't stop till like 2:30. They went 3.5 hours. He just came out jammed. And like I'm serious, it was like one of the longest shows I've been to. It beats the Bruce Springsteen show that went like 3 hours. They played 3.5 hours. He played every song I think I could think of, but maybe one that I can't remember at the time. And like just fucking jammed. And it wasn't until like the last song. He was like, "Hey, what's going on, Chicago?" Played one more song and was gone. But he killed it. Like it was a great fucking show. The band was awesome that was with him. I'm like, fuck, I can't necessarily call it Guns N' Roses, but they kicked ass. And then when I saw them when they first reunited at Soldier Field, actually Alice in Chains opened up for him with a new lead singer.
Yeah.
You close your eyes, the guy sounds just like fucking,
Yeah.
like
I've seen performances of them and
they're good. Like they're good.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
Well, the
but it was
guitar player sounds like him too. Jerry Cantrell in Lane used to go back and forth. Like you couldn't. One would sing a song and then Lane would sing a song, and they were very similar sounding too. So that's good.
Yeah. No, yeah. So it was good, but I'm saying like when I saw them with them, they with the lineup they were fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's the same drummer that played with him on that tour. It's the same one that's playing with him now. I forget the drummer's name, but long story short, they're good. Like don't hate on them.
Totally.
So.
And that's it for me.
All right, that's it for you. All right. Well, I went different. I just went to like different genres because I didn't know
Did
what
you
the
pick
hell.
anybody that's alive on the list?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yes and no.
So they're kind of
They're
dead. So
just
like
kind
Keith
of
Richards.
alive?
Next, Wally's
Like-
next pick, the Beatles.
No, I hate the Beatles. Beatles and Elvis are like shit to me, so I'm not listening. But no, so like I'll just go in genres because I have it written down this way. So rap, I had Tupac, NWA, Outkast, Drake, Eminem, that Jay-Z.
Outkast is really good live.
I've never seen him, and that's one of the few that I have not seen that I want to. Jay-Z and Kanye, and then like Lil Wayne, as far as rap. Country, Garth Brooks is amazing. Alabama, Keith Urban, and these are all bands I've seen. Darius Rucker, Arian Lewis. I know you guys, you probably don't like Stained either, but Aaron Lewis's country stuff is phenomenal. Metal, I went.
Roxy.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's just not a good person. I was a big fan of
His
Stain
politics
growing up.
is
He
kinda
is just
shit,
no
yeah.
longer a good person.
I you know what? I don't know all the politics behind who does what or what they do and shit. This is just strictly music. Like I don't get into all that.
So
No,
Roxy,
that's fine. Yes.
now this is the second band that's been mentioned that has gone swinged way over to the conservative side, right?
Yes.
Are they doing this to sell records and to continue to be somewhat relevant within that group of people, or are they doing it because they actually feel that way?
I think it's both.
They also
I
have
think
more,
it is
They also
too.
have more money now than they did when they were coming up. So
I don't think Aaron Lewis does though, for some reason. I don't know,
agree with that.
maybe.
I think him and the guy from Smash Mouth like live together because they can't afford. Or no, not Smash Mouth. I'm sorry, Trapped. The lead singer Trapped. I'm sorry. Him and Aaron Lewis live together because they can't afford their own home. But to answer your question, I think it's a little bit of both. I don't feel like in like a certain regard you can make a bit and have it go that long without fucking it up.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. But yeah, I listened
Sorry,
to a
Lori.
ton of
Sorry,
Sting
Wally.
growing up. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
no. You guys are fine. No, I love all the interjection. So metal, a lot of this I went with just bands I've seen. So like metal, I had Iron Maiden, King Diamond.
Maiden's great live.
Oh, I've seen them 18 times. I
You-
love Maiden.
You guys know who has opened for Iron Maiden?
Ghost. Yeah.
I've never heard of Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must have been in Europe because they never opened up from them here with Ghost.
You are wrong.
Then when? What tour? Because I've seen like almost every tour in the past.
16, 17. Hold on. Keep going.
Okay.
Obviously,
All right.
please.
All right.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. King Diamond, Pantera, Ozzy, and Dio.
Dio would be fun. I never got to see Dio.
Oh, I saw Dio a couple times. He's fucking awesome.
Is it true he's literally like 4 feet tall?
I put him like
He's-
5'1".
Is he taller than Danzig?
I never saw Danzig live, so I don't know.
Oh my god, Danzig is
but Danzig is so
Danzig is
small
every
that
bit
you
of
think he
5'2".
looks Yeah. Dio's about 5'1". I mean, if he had his hair up, he might have been 5'4".
Yeah.
But one of the greatest metal vocalists of all time. Like his voice and his range was amazing.
Wally, to answer your question, it was June 15th, 2017. Ghost opened at the Hollywood Amphitheater for Iron Maiden.
Do you know which 2017? That had to have been.
It was
But it was only
The
one.
book-
It was only
the-
one stop.
the Book of Souls World Tour.
I saw that tour.
Then you've seen Ghost.
No, because I saw it at United Center. You know what? They may have came around a second time, and it was like they were doing the same set list. So I'm like, I already saw the tour.
Oh yeah, I think you were right. They came around twice.
Because
and
I
don't
saw
think
that Book
Ghost
of
was
Souls
on-
tour. I have a shirt from that show, and yeah, it was at United Center. So yeah, that
Sure, yeah.
That could have
That
been
would
when I
check
missed
out
it.
then.
Yeah. Okay. So then in my rock genre, besides the ones I picked, I had Fleetwood Mac, The Cure, Depeche Mode, Killers, Jeff Beck, and Weezer.
Nice.
Interesting.
Those are good picks.
Weezer. I know
Weezer
a lot of.
sucks,
I know a
though.
lot of people.
I never
say
saw them
Weezer.
live. I never saw
Yeah, I've
Weezer.
heard
That's
of
what I
it.
did.
Good.
I had fun. I had fun seeing them live, but
Did you?
yeah, I can
Nice.
understand the dislike for them, but they were good live.
So then in my EDM music, I only picked one band. That was Daft Punk. So I had to scratch
Okay.
that one off the first one. So then when I went in my blues genre, I had Buddy Guy, Joe Bonamassa, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Eric Gales, Gary Clark Jr., Beth Hart, Shamika
Ooh,
Copeland.
Gary Clark Jr. is awesome.
Oh, I know. I've seen him a few times. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And then the only one who I haven't seen, God rest his soul, was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, I see
Like,
Ray Voss.
like he
That's
almost
awesome. I think
made,
Pete
he
said-
almost opened it.
I think Pete said that would have been his headliner.
Yeah.
I mean, Stevie Ray was just, a whole
Oh,
different
amazing.
level.
Whole
different level.
Absolutely. It went way too soon. And then for like the hair metals, I had Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, Queensryche, Tesla.
Hey, are you going to Queensryche at Arcata?
No.
Somebody offered me a ticket the other day. I'm like,
Don't go.
hmm.
Well, but you're not going to play any music, so it's everything that after Jeff Tate's
I
song.
wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
So it's like, and I've had people tell me it's still good music, and Jeff Tate is. I put Jeff Tate, Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer of Maiden, and Dio as the three best metal singers, frontmans of all time. Like their voices, if you've seen them live, are phenomenal, and I can't see Queensryche without them.
Sure.
All right, and then my last is my pop and like R&B section. I had George Michael, Lady Gaga, Stevie Wonder, Sade, Adele, and Miley Cyrus.
Nice.
Interesting.
Very nice.
Hey, Wally, did you ever see James Brown live?
No, I'm kind of kicking
So
myself
weird.
in the ass.
I saw him at Taste of Chicago like 25 years ago.
I bet you the hardest working man in show business.
It was terrible, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they were propping his ass up at that point. Like
Oh,
he really
okay.
couldn't do much at that. Well, he's a piece of crap, so
All
it's
right.
okay.
Take that back.
I mean, yeah, in his personal life, for sure. But I mean, like who I love to see. I've only seen I think twice or three times with Stevie Wonder. That guy, like, I don't even know how to say it. It's like I think it's one of the few concerts that I actually like shed a tear next to like
Dang.
Pink Floyd. Like it was just Floyd was like my favorite band. I saw him. I got emotional. But Stevie, just his voice and just with the shit he's doing is just you don't see music like that anymore being made like that.
right?
Shit that actually you felt like, it gravitates to you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always heard that Stevie was out of sight. So that was like always the reviews. He's out of sight.
I heard shit he could see. Like it's fucking weird because you ever hear that story with him and Shaq in the elevator?
Yeah.
Like Stevie Wonder's in the elevator. Shaq comes in the elevator, doesn't say shit, and when Shaq walks out, he's like, "Hey, get 40 points tonight, Shaq." And Shaq's like, "How the hell?"
So maybe he's like Daredevil. He just sees like the
Maybe.
he sees the sound, you know.
Or maybe Shaq has a scent like you do, Wally, and I would know. If I was blind, I would know it's still you in the wall in like the elevator with me.
Boy.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right, Rox, did you have a kind of a dump list?
Yeah, I didn't really. I kind of had. I was just while I was listening to you guys, I had some that were like genres, others that just kind of popped in there. If I did a pop one, or like, I guess it's just that's what it is. Like, it would be Fits and Tantrums would be opening, and then it would be Dua Lipa, Lady Gaga, and then Elton John.
That'd be a good one.
And then what are some other bands? Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
I think they're great. I also probably would have put like them with like the Beastie Boys and Biggie and I don't know, some other band that I'm not thinking of. And then I had a list of like bands that I'm fairly confident nobody else in this list has seen. And that would be Oakley Dokley. And then it was going to be, a band called Flake Michigan that I've seen. They're real, I promise. And then Nervous Passenger. And then Bullweevil. Well, no, Brian's seen Bullweevils is the worst opening band he's ever seen.
Oh my God, they were fucking terrible.
I love them.
I love them too. I've known them forever, and they opened for Peg Boy at Brower House.
Peg Boy?
Lombard. Yeah, they opened for Peg Boy at Brower House Lombard like 3 or 4 years ago. They were so
bad.
freaking bad.
And then just some other ones that like Wet Leg. I saw them not too long ago. They were really good. And I'll just do one more from my list. I've got probably a band that I saw live that I wasn't expecting them to be as good was Bush. I've seen Bush like 3 times now. And I like long enough spans in between the shows to kind of forget. But I've also always just really impressed with Gavin Rossdale. I think he'll never reach the peak of his life when he was with Gwen Stefani. He's always chasing that high. And so he has to go out on stage and try to mimic it, but he'll never be able to obtain it again.
Interesting.
He shouldn't have left. That was the peak of his life.
I don't think he left. I think she left him.
That's either way, you're not with Gwen Stefani anymore.
Yeah, no, he stepped out and was for sure.
So, but I saw them at Salt Shed a couple months ago.
How is that venue?
Wonderful. So
I want to go so bad.
Yeah, me too.
CPG and I are going to see a band called Le Tigre there, and that'll be outside. But inside is cool. They have seats and the GA.
Okay.
So it's even if there's a band you kind of like, it's worth checking it out for that, in my opinion.
Is there parking around there?
Yeah, there's so it's on Elston.
Yeah. And I know where it's at.
No. So I'm just saying, like, if this is Salt Shed, and you go down like on Elston past like North Avenue, it's all free parking over there.
Okay.
You got to walk a little bit, but it's right over there.
Yeah.
Mailman
Wally's
Jack's
not
mad at
good at
us.
walking.
Yeah. I walk a lot in Cincinnati.
So I had a list that was just kind of, there was really no rhyme or reason to them. I'll just mention a few that I wanted to
through
pick.
them.
Go dump them all. Go ahead.
Do it.
Soundgarden, Radiohead, Pearl Jam, obviously, Modest Mouse, They Might Be Giants, Johnny Cash, Leonard Cohen.
What version of Johnny Cash?
I like old Johnny Cash. I like crazy cover Johnny Cash. Like I want to listen to him do Rusty Cage. You know,
Oh, dude, that was some shit,
I
right?
found my Rusty Cage. I love Beck. I've always loved Beck.
He's good live.
REM.
Cool.
Peg Boy. I mentioned Peg Boy a few minutes ago. Helmet. And I know MSS will be like, yeah, Helmet. I think
I've seen Helmet a few times.
I think Chirizi and I have been to 37 of the same Helmet concerts. We've had this conversation. Dinosaur Jr. is one of my favorite bands. Roxy and I are
so
going to see
loud.
them. They're so loud. I love it. We're going to see them in July. Bruce Springsteen, Primus, Nirvana. Really liked White Stripes.
Saw Jack White in December. It's fantastic.
Op Ivy, Ramones,
Oh, yeah.
Rancid.
Sure.
And then for some reason, just randomly in the middle, I put Cat Stevens. So
No, Cat Stevens is a good.
I love Cat
pick,
Stevens.
though, man, for sure, dude. No,
What's his name though? Yusuf. What?
Yusuf
Is it-
Islam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about him? Would you like to see him or no?
He does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's still fine.
Come on, he got detained at an
got
an
dicked
airport.
over.
He got detained. They think a guy who wrote fucking Peace Train was a terrorist. Come on.
It's a really good cover up. That's what they wanted you to think.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw Homeland, dude. Nobody's above that. Come on.
Do you guys have any good shows coming up?
Going to see Lizzo next week.
Oh, that's right.
Are you?
Yeah, Brandy. I got it for Brandy for her
That's
birthday.
awesome.
So we're going.
I've seen her 3 times. She's fantastic.
Does she wait? I would think she would put on a shoe. I would definitely go. See
Oh
her.
yeah, she's great.
And then I'm going to see
I got
Ghost in Milwaukee with Roxy and CPG and my wife are going. And then I just got tickets yesterday. Roxy and I are going to go see Dinosaur Jr. and Clutch.
It's true.
Oh man, Clutch.
Clutch is so good live, dude. Roxy, you're gonna be in for it, man. You'll like it. I swear.
Beautiful.
It feels right.
It's
Like
like
that Clutch.
yeah.
That's
it is.
Clutch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, they're like fusion of like. It's almost like blues with like really heavy rock is just phenomenal.
Treasy loves him, which is not a shocker.
I should get Treasy to come out to that one.
It
He
can't
probably
be,
would.
and I'm not saying it in terms of like it'll be bad, but when you're like get ready for it, it can't possibly be worse than when my friend asked me if I wanted to go to a 2021 Riot Fest after show, and I was like, yeah, sure, dude, like no problem. Who is it? He's like, it's Mr. Bungle.
Dude, I've seen him.
And so I started.
I don't even know who the fuck Mr. Bungle is.
It's Mike Patton. It's the guy from Faith No More.
So
Yeah.
so I listened.
Say no more.
I listened to it and I was like, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I will not be attending this. Like I can't do it. I'm so sorry. And usually you can pretty much count me in for like whatever show. But I was really honest with them and I was like,
I saw Faith No More back in the day, and I walked.
It's an acquired taste.
Faith No More was supposed to be at 2021 Riot Fest.
Yep.
And then the Mr. Bungle show didn't even end up happening because like at the last minute they dropped out because the lead singer is having like mental health issues or something.
Mike had a breakdown. He has a band called Tomahawk that's really good, and it's him, one of the dudes from Jesus Lizard, and one of the guys from Helmet, and it's really, really good. Yeah, you should check it out.
King Lizard?
Jesus Lizard.
No, Jesus Lizard.
The band is called
Jesus
Tomahawk,
Lizard.
though.
Oh, I'm getting them confused because there's a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I'm just getting them confused. Sorry.
Roxy, you had said what band is popular for a song that the rest of their songs don't sound anything like that, and Faith No More fits that to a T.
Yeah, Epic.
Because
yeah,
Epic
sure.
does not sound like anything Faith No More has ever done.
But that album, that actually is the only album of theirs I had, and the album is actually pretty decent.
All of their stuff is really good.
Yeah.
The bass play is phenomenal in Faith No More. That guy kills. And then I watched this series on YouTube and it's a vocal coach watches like popular rock bands and critiques the vocal. And I watched this woman, she's like a little like professional vocal coach watching Faith No More perform, and she's like, I have never seen any human being with the range that this guy has. So it's so funny that when you listen to Epic and he's just rapping, and then like the rest of his music, that guy can go like all the way up here and all the way down here. It's his range is bizarre.
MSS, you got anything coming up?
I do not. Like there's only one show. There's one show that I wanted to go see, and it's sold out, and it was Off With Their Heads. I saw they were coming back, or they were coming back into Chicago for like the close out of things. So I like to go see those guys. They make our
Nah,
make all our 108 gear. So it's like
They were
I like
just
to go-
they just played Liars Club like 2 weeks ago.
I know I didn't get to that either. It was I'm a mess. But yeah, no, there's just
them damn kids, right?
well, that and then got duties. I got a lot of like other duties I got to take care
It
of.
was announced like 2 days before, so like
Isn't that always the case at Liars Club? Like, hey, it's somebody's playing here
More
on
or
like
less.
Wednesday.
Yeah. But it wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't
well-
just him, right? It was just him and like
it was
like
a band that like I
drum-
think CPG went, but like it was a band or just a show for somebody completely different, and they just needed like a local band, and so they just jumped in.
Yeah. No, and like I mean, I had never like I didn't know the lead singer Ryan. I didn't know who he was when we started working with him. I just
Yeah,
know that he'd
CPG.
done
I
some
think
shit.
MSS knows Ryan just fine.
Oh no,
Respectfully.
no, I'm not gonna ask him. I would never ask him for tickets. But yeah,
What? What? You always ask for tickets.
No, not. I would never ask a guy that I do business with if I could
Oh,
have
oh,
fucking
no,
free
no, for
tickets
sure.
to
No,
his
for sure,
to his
for sure.
concert.
I'm gonna
but
send him this show.
If I think if he knew I was a fan or something, it'd be different. But I always feel like he kind of like is. He likes that we support him, and he likes what we do, but he's also like totally embarrassed that he has to make sure it's for like a White Sox blog. Like he's like a punk rock guy, as I'm a rock dude, great dude and everything. I've always wanted to have him on the podcast to like talk through this. Like, so how do you feel about this? Like when we first did our shirts, you were probably like, oh, this isn't gonna last. Whatever. I'm just gonna take this guy's money. And then like 7 years later, like probably one of your bigger clients, like or like at least locally, we've used him exclusively, like all these years, everything we've done. So it's nuts. But yeah, I don't have anything coming up. It's lame. I'm fucking lame sometimes. I just don't have anything. I heard a hip hop festival was coming in. It's like LL Cool J and Common. And other, and I was
got
like,
a fest coming up. I don't think Common's on the LL's fest.
No, he is, because I was like, I
is it?
don't think I could sit through LL unless like Z Trip is DJing.
You've
for
got
me,
like Rock.
'cause I don't know if I could do it.
Was it Rock Hymns on there?
Wu Tang's coming too.
Yeah, with Nas.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
not.
not
It's
a fan
not
of
Wu
Nas,
Tang, and I guess that's like.
That's who shows up though. That's the problem with them. They don't always show up. Somebody's always happy with one of them, and ODB.
I get so
gone.
weirded out watching bands that I'd seen in the 90s and then now going to see them now. It's like they have like a good memory of the show. I don't want to see it like watered down and not feel the same way after that. Like I had tickets for Rage and Wu-Tang at like the World Music Theater, which is the Hollywood theater.
Whatever it's called, yeah.
Tweeter Center.
Yeah, it was Tweeter Center there too for a minute. But
I
it's
still
just
call it
like,
the world, so that's how I
do
know
it.
it is. So.
Yeah, I've like I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't want to like ruin some of these memories. Like the last time I saw Rage was like, at the Benton Freedom concert, and I was like, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
and the time before that was at Aragon. So it's like I've
Let
seen
that
it.
be the
I've seen
last
the
time I
peak.
remember them. Yeah.
They,
I want that to be it.
They did really well when I saw them last year. Run the Jewels open for them.
Oh yeah.
Solid. But that's my only experience with them. So obviously, if that was what I had it to compare to,
So Run the Jewels. Correct me if I'm wrong. 'Cause I never really listened to me. That's Killer Mike and who?
LP.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good.
Very
I
good.
like them a lot.
I really have listened to their music, and I feel like it's one of those bands I've swept on.
I've seen them like 5 times, and then I'm seeing them. They're doing 4 shows at Salt Shed in September, where each night they're playing one album beginning to end.
Nice.
It's amazing.
All right, well, you have to let me know which album's the best night to go see him, and I'll get us tickets, Rox.
I got all 4 days already.
I want to. Oh fuck!
There you go.
Then I'll go. Let
Catch
me know
up,
which one you go.
please.
I just hearing of it now.
Wally, pick a day. I'll go with you.
All right, I'll buy you a ticket, Brian. I got you.
I think the only day that's available is the last day, Saturday, the
Is it
4th.
the worst album?
I don't think so.
No.
They've already announced what album they're playing.
It's like
each.
they
night?
only have 4 albums, so it's
Oh,
just,
okay.
The first night, the first album, second night.
yeah,
Okay.
correct. Yeah,
Which is the best album? Like,
You know what's
number
funny?
1, 2, 3.
probably 1, the first one. It's just,
right.
They're all really good though.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
really,
pretty
really
different.
good.
but I would say the first album, in my opinion. What about you, Brian? Though?
What shows?
No. Which album of theirs do you think is the best?
I don't know the names of the albums.
I think it's literally just Run the Jewels 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think 2 was my favorite.
Cool. They have
what's
one
it?
that's just called Meow the Jewels, where it's the third album and they rap, but there's just a lot of cats meowing through it. I don't know why, but it's
I'm good
a
with
great
that.
album. Meow the Jewels.
So real quick, MSS we talked about for a second. We talked about Minnesota hip hop. So
Yeah.
one of the Anacon guys, Soul, had a beef with LP for like 10 years before LP got big, and they went back and forth for years and years and years. So it's kind of funny. Like I knew of LP like well before Run the Jewels, and then he got like huge after that. So
Man, I gotta look this stuff up. Soul,
I'll send you some stuff.
because
Oh, yeah, that's a
I
good
have
question.
never heard of them, and
It's just
like,
one guy. It's like this little fat dude with a red beard, and
Interesting.
yeah.
Are you comfortable with me asking the last question, or assuming we're done?
Yeah. No.
What is one artist you'd like us to start listening to? Even if we already know them, maybe it's a band we don't listen to. Like, what's a band you'd want us to listen to, assuming we don't know them already?
I feel like far too many people don't know about Peg Boy. Peg Boy is one of my favorite bands of all time.
I'm gonna write this down.
Just a good local band. They, you can call them punk. You can call them it's heavier.
Yeah, I feel like
Always-
CPG's talked about them
Always
too.
very good. Yeah, that would be like my one, and then Roxy, you need to listen to Tom Waits at some point.
Sure. As long as we know what he's waiting for. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not listening for a specific. I'm kidding. Just
For people who don't know Tom Waits, his claim to fame in the last couple decades was in the second Shrek movie. They're in a bar and there's a pirate singing a song, and that's Tom Waits.
Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet.
That's a good way to sell them.
Maybe that's the
Good
third.
stuff, Brian.
Maybe it's the third Tom Waits.
Okay. MSS, do you have anybody?
I'm trying to think of because you already know, like one of my go-tos is usually Local H, but
I'm a little familiar with them, yeah.
little familiar. I also really like Smoking Popes. I think is probably you probably heard them too. But
Yes, very good.
I haven't listened to them. They just opened for Rise Against during their residency.
Their beginning, like their first probably 3 records are like probably like the best.
Sick.
3 records that I would put them up on the top, like
Awesome.
right up there with Jawbreaker and all that kind of the emo, like when emo started in, right? Like,
Yeah.
and at that time, because you're like freshman in college, I mean, it's just a very emotional, like they called them study hall lyrics, guys just like croning about girls. He's a big Morrissey fan, their lead singer.
Yep.
And they made 3 great records. And then they're still making good music, but it's just different. It's not the same. And it's hard to hear a 45-year-old guy talking about, his girlfriend, breaking up with his girlfriend.
Right.
It's like, no, dude, it's a lot better when it's a kid, like, and because they were young when they were that, like, they're like, 5 years older than me, and it's just to see them. I don't know. They were just great. I loved them back then, and I still love them. It still holds up to me. Destination Failure is probably one of the best records that has ever come out of Chicago. So Destination Failure, I would listen to front to back. It's just, it tells a story. It's just fucking great.
Right on.
Is it just
Wally?
me? Oh yeah, no. Wally.
All right.
do
Who's being slept on? I think of a bunch of artists, but probably one of my favorite right now. It's probably Richie Kotzen. I feel like nobody knows who this guy is. Phenomenal guitarist, probably the second best no-pick guitarist I've ever seen live, next to Lindsey Buckingham.
Cool.
And then has an amazing voice. Now, a lot of his music. Now, he started off. His claim to fame in the early back days, he was the guitarist that replaced CeCe DeVille in Poison.
Was that the guy that showed that you went
Yes,
to it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I told Chris about it, and then he ended up showing up that next night and showed up and was like, "This guy's fucking amazing." Now he's in another band. He's in a bunch of side projects. He's got an album with Adrian Smith, the lead guitarist from Iron Maiden, that's called Smith Kotzen. He's another like Prince. The best way to put it is like the harder rock version of Prince. where he comes out with a new album like every 9-10 months. Like just so creative, comes out with new shit. He's been more kind of on like a bluesy kick lately in the past few years, but just phenomenal music, phenomenal guitars. He's got another band called the Winery Dogs, which is just 3 guys. It's him singing, and they've got what, 3 albums now? But the band Winery Dogs is with him, Billy Sheehan, who's by far one of the best bassists I've ever seen, and then Mike Portnoy on drums, who's amazing. Dream Theater guy is where he started off with. But everybody really needs to check him out. Roxy, you should check him out. It may be a little bit not as heavy as what you like, but the lyrics are like the songs that he sings is like, at least with me, I can relate to. Like it's all about a lot of heartbreak, a lot of bad life choices, bad vices. You know, like it's. I mean, honest. It's like it's music that hits me in the soul, where it's just like, this is the blues that I can relate to. You know, but it's heavier too. It's not just straight blues, but definitely something to check out.
So, yeah. Mine are just pick. I was just scrolling through my Spotify, just the first like 2 or 3 that I can. Amel and the Sniffers.
Oh, they got some good stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
Who is that? Emo and the Sniffers?
Amel, like AMYL.
I almost said anal in the Sniffers. What?
They're coming to Salt Shed actually in October, so I'll probably be attending that.
What's their big hit, Roxy?
Ooh.
Or the biggest song? It's like oh god, there's a video, and it's
who watches?
It's like
videos
it's like a shout along song. Something like a mutt or a dog or something. Oh crap!
It's
what is that song called? Because it came across on something, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is hilarious."
Yeah, and then I've talked about them when I was with Tony on his music show, but I would I always recommend Radkey. Radkey opened for Local H quite a few times, but they also opened for Foo Fighters on on one of their tours. It's just 3 brothers from Missouri. One, and two play guitar and one drums, and they're just fantastic. They're like a modern day, like in my opinion, true form of rock and roll.
Okay,
sweet.
So just real solid. And then my last one will probably be Cannons. They've been on like Q101 and stuff like that. So depending on how much radio you listen to, you might have heard of them before, but they're a fantastic band. I always have extra respect, obviously, for any female-led bands, and sure. I think they do a very good job. And they just had a pop-up show at Cubby Bear a few weeks ago, and then they're actually coming back. I think they're coming to the Riv in September, so I'll be there for that. They're great.
Well, all right, that was a good question, Roxy. Thanks for dropping that in, and
thanks.
That was a fun one. Hopefully some people that are listening, picked up a new band to enjoy. But that's always fun to search out and find your new sound, But okay, let's wrap the show up.
That's crazy. That's like almost 2 hours.
MSS, you got anything you want to plug?
8 o'clock.
You don't want to
Thursday
talk
nights.
about the show at all?
8 o'clock Thursday night. We're gonna go run over, talk socks again. We do that every night. The little group called the 108. That I think people are familiar with. So
never heard of her.
Come through. That's what we do. And then all weekend we'll be at the park. So it'll be good times. We got the Eloy bobblehead. I'm not plugging that, but I definitely would plug. Coming out and just hanging with us. It's a fun time.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll be there Friday, Saturday. So
nice. I'll
all
see
right.
you. I'll try to remember.
I'm sure we'll run into each other a couple dozen times. So. but all right. Well, thanks guys for hanging out. You guys don't have anything else to plug, right? Well, Wally's got a podcast.
Wally, what are you gonna plug?
I don't know. I don't need to know everything you're gonna plug tonight.
Wally's chair just fell.
I was like, did Wally's chair just break?
It just did, man.
Wally just flattened a chair.
No, I hit the button on the thing.
No, he's plugging.
Yeah,
Wally broke the hydraulics.
When I plug my chair, No. Actually, the only thing I got to plug is everybody get out there and listen to it's getting drafty in here. Check out in all this the sadistic penguins content. You know,
Jumpers, Foe. We got
Yeah,
hook up
all
on
of 'em.
music.
yeah.
I'm going to be doing some pop-up socks episodes coming up pretty
Even
soon.
Roxy and even Alexis is doing some blogs and stuff for
Yep.
you guys now and
Yep.
stuff like that. No, just the whole team.
We're moving. Wheels are going.
Absolutely, no, plug them all. I think I have to burn my Tate and glove shit now, but
That's a conversation for another time, Wally.
but I'm just plugging when I'm supposed to. No, but
I'm
otherwise,
just burning when I'm supposed to burn. I'm okay with whatever you want to do with that stuff, buddy.
but no, I love what you guys are doing. And support all you guys.
Always.
Outside of
You're
this,
the man, Wally.
we're great friends. Any support I can do to help you guys, I'm there for you guys. But that's it. Otherwise, I've got nothing else to plug except for hopefully there's some White Sox winners on top of that, and seeing everybody at the ballpark. I think I owe Roxy drinks for the rest of the season. So whenever you're there, Roxy, let me know.
You can just buy me drinks, and then that'll be like the proxy.
Sure.
Nah, I'll still buy you drinks. That's got nothing to do with that. I owe
kidding.
Roxy a lot of drinks.
Thanks.
Plug your butt.
Plug your butt.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad I finally got Wally and MSS on a show. You guys are
Fantastic.
welcome back at any point. Maybe we will do that fictional movie band episode at some point down the line.
Yeah, I don't want to. As long as MySoxSummer's gonna talk about like these bands that he used to print box covers for and try to make up like these bullshit West Coast bands that nobody heard of but him. Like Anal Loves Me and all your other goofy shit.
I never got that
the Violet
job,
Myers experience.
yeah, you're right. Or Seymour Butts.
Seymour.
Seymour.
I did meet cousin Stevie. I never met Seymour, but I met cousin Stevie. That's a throwback. I don't know if anyone knows who that is.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, nothing to really plug on my end. Obviously, please follow ASS and the Sadistic Penguin Studios if you aren't already.
Please subscribe, like.
I play it. Yeah, like, subscribe, retweet, share. Send us nudes. I will most likely sometime in the next 2 days here, depending on how work goes, we'll be putting out my first Sadistic Penguins article, kind of recapping Cincinnati.
Nice.
So if you have anything that you would like to share about your experience in Cincinnati, please feel free to send me a DM. Otherwise, I will make a lot of shit up so we get a lot of clicks. But yeah,
I don't
thanks so
remember
much.
it, so it didn't happen. So don't tell my story.
Perfect.
No.
Well, I got a couple things I want to mention before I wrap up here. Saturday, the Bums are doing a podcast. The Bums are doing a tailgate in Lot B. So definitely, if you're coming to the game on Saturday, that's the 13th. Please stop by and hang out.
What time are they getting there?
When the
I think
lot's
it's
open, so probably
it's at
3 o'clock.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know MySoxSummer.
It's a 6 o'clock game, so.
MySoxSummer, I know you and I will be there right in line early for them, Bobo.
Well, I won't because I got a birthday party. I got the girls' birthday party till 2 o'clock. So and then I got to clean up, and then I'll swing down there. Probably
something
You want me to
happens-
jump in
You're
line
gonna
for
miss?
you and then jump out?
So did I go through the line for you or something? Am I selling you a bobblehead again?
No,
You
I'll be there.
You're giving me
Yeah,
your other
dude.
kidney?
I feel like I feel like a half hour after the line's
MSS,
open,
do you need-
it'll be good.
Do you need Stadium Club stuff?
No.
No, he's got
No, I
plenty of
have
that
2
with us.
extra. I'm
No, I
just saying.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I think that I think gate. Well, I'm not going to say it, but the gate that's closest to Lot B is the best call. Like they usually have the most there, or because it moves quickly.
We
So
didn't get
that's
shirts that
usually
we thought
probably
we weren't
what's
going to
gonna
get after the last tailgate.
Yeah, we walked in at 6 o'clock and got a hockey jersey, so that was pretty sweet.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then I also want to plug tomorrow night on Playback. Me and CPG and Dougie Fresh are going to be doing AEW Dynamite. So if you want to come watch some wrestling with us tomorrow night, please feel free. I'll be throwing the link up in on the Twitters all day. Next week I'm going to do a Drafty pod. I haven't decided which one I'm going to slide in just yet. I have a few in mind. That sounded very inappropriate, and I apologize greatly. The nation weeps. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you again for hanging out. Everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out. MySoxSummer,
guys.
Wally, Roxy, fantastic. I appreciate you.
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
We'll
Great time.
see you with the next one. Thanks
Sounds
a lot,
good.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.